Good morning, everyone. The new simple camper shell setup worked out really well last night. This was a beautiful spot to spend the night, surrounded by these red rock cliffs in every direction and close to the Gilman tunnels as well that we explored in the last video. It is early, I'm still waking up, but I have a full day planned. It's time to get on the road. That was the town of Jemez Springs. Just passed through there for probably the last time on this trip. And that church-looking thing is actually a church. It is the Jemez Historic Sites. It is a 17th century Spanish church that was built and is pretty well preserved overall. I mean, for the most part, it doesn't have a roof, but you know, it's hanging in there. It was built on top of a Native American pueblo back in the 17th century, and it is a historic site. You can actually gain access to go in there. They allow folks to go in there and walk around. Unfortunately, it is not open this early in the morning. At some point in the future, I definitely would like to walk around the historic site and check that out. But we are now on to our first stop for today. It is Battleship Rock. And this here is Battleship Rock. Gets its name because it's shaped like a Navy ship. There are quite a few hikes that you can do around this area, but I have other plans for today. I've got a few other hikes that I want to do, and I don't want to get myself all tired out. Also, it's early enough in the morning that if I can make it to some of the other more popular ones, I'll probably be able to experience it with at least a minimal crowd. Fingers crossed. Looks like this area was a campground at some point in the past, but it says no overnight parking now. It looks like it's been converted into a picnic area by the Forest Service. Goodbye, Battleship Rock. Before continuing on, I want to give a special thank you to Mint Mobile for partnering with me on this video. You might recognize Mint Mobile from the Ryan Reynolds commercials. They are a wireless provider, and they are built on America's largest 5G network. They do not have storefronts, though, or salespeople, so they're able to keep their costs low, keep that overhead low, and then pass those savings on to you. They have plans starting as low as $15 a month, and right now they're actually running a special where you can get an unlimited plan for only $15 a month. I've had Mint Mobile on my phone for most of 2023, and I was actually able to sign up using the eSIM option. Took about 10 minutes to do. It was super easy to do online, and I have my original SIM card from my previous carrier in addition to access to the Mint Mobile network. So now I have access to two different cell networks, which is really useful when I'm traveling and going to remote camp spots and everything like that. Would definitely recommend checking out Mint Mobile. If you follow that link in the description below, mintmobile.com/vanlife, you can get access to their plans starting as low as $15 a month. Thank you again, Mint Mobile, for partnering with me on this video. Whenever I think of New Mexico, I don't typically think of forests like this with the lush green trees and pines everywhere. It smells amazing in here. I mean, look at this. I don't think this is really what folks think New Mexico looks like, but there is a lot of landscape like this all around here. Our first hike for the day is a relatively short one, but it is part of this trail 137, which is actually, I'm realizing now, the same trail that starts or ends at Battleship Rock, where we just were a few moments ago. Apparently it goes by a bunch of different like hot springs and warm springs. Of course, I managed to skip a good portion of the work and just park very close. We're only about a quarter mile away from the Overlook. We're heading to Jemez Falls, supposedly a magnificent waterfall. I might say this a few times in this video, but it's hard to believe that this is New Mexico. Just such a diverse landscape and diverse scenery. We are at higher elevation, I think close to 8,000 feet, maybe a little over that at this point. And those 2,000 feet makes a world of difference compared to what it looks like back home. I mean, this is incredible. Just taking a quick lunch break before moving on with our next adventure. It's a little bit of a learning experience for me right now with this camper setup in here. I severely underestimated the amount of power that this fridge that Shannon picked up uses. I thought I was going to be able to get away with running it with the Peakron here, just a little 1,000 watt hour power station. It has been really hot, but this fridge has been working overtime, and I just do not have enough power to keep this thing going. I do have the little solar panel on the roof, but at some point in the near future, I'm definitely going to need to upgrade the size of that panel, maybe upgrade the size of the power bank as well. Would probably make sense to do both of those pretty soon. This is a good test run, though. It's a good dry run, I guess, just testing everything out, seeing how it goes. I got a couple more days to get through, and I'm probably going to have a dead battery and a non-working fridge before the end of this trip. So the Jemez River is kind of a big deal around here. It's a big part of this area. We've seen it in a couple of different spots over the past couple of days. Basically any time that I've shown you guys water flowing, that has been the Jemez. It's not like a super huge river or anything like that. Somewhere between 50 and 80 miles, depending on how you measure it. It does empty into the Rio Grande by Bernalillo, not too far outside of Albuquerque. And this afternoon, we're actually going to be exploring a different part of the Jemez River. It's called the East Fork Jemez. It's a national wild and scenic river, whatever that means. It's going to be pretty beautiful, though, I'm sure. I guess this 137 is a pretty big trail around here. Basically interloops with everything else. I've seen signs for that all day today. Climbing over trees. I don't know if you can see it through the woods, but there's a pretty good sized deer right there. Big dog. There it is. Just been standing there. There's two of them. And they are not fazed by me at all. There's stairs out here. These stairs are not usable, though. This trail has been sparsely populated. It's kind of a lot of work to do this hike just because there's a ton of down trees like that. It's super narrow, getting hit by branches and all kind of bushes and stuff. This is super cool. Hoping I don't get caught in a thunderstorm out here, but I guess it would feel pretty good. Apparently there are a bunch of water crossings just like this, where the trail stops here and you got to walk across the river and then get over there. I did pick up some water shoes though. I went to Dick's on my way out of here. They got them. They were like $12 for a pair of them. So I'm going to throw those on and just hike in those for a little while. I've actually never worn water shoes except for maybe when I was a kid. This is going to be weird. I think it's going to be worth it though to have dry shoes at the end of the hike. So this trail has a little bit of like a make your own route kind of thing going on. I'm trying to maximize the river crossings now that I have these goofy looking shoes. I actually really like them though. I think I'm going to start hiking in these more often. I got to find more trails like this. This second half of the trail has been a little bit more popular. I've seen quite a few people out here. I think it's a little bit easier to access the East Fork of the river from this side. I am going to be ending this trail in a different spot from where I started, so I'm going to have to probably walk on the main road for at least a couple of miles to get back to the truck. I got so caught up with playing in the water that I completely forgot that this hike was also going to a slot canyon. I started seeing the rock formation and I was like, oh, nice rock formations. I didn't even think about it until just now. Okay, so maybe not the same level of slot canyon that we saw yesterday or for you guys last week at the Red Rock Trail. This thunder is pretty scary sounding, but it hasn't really rained too much, just a tiny bit. Either way though, pretty awesome thing to see. It does have rock walls on both sides in a small section. I don't know if it has that 10-to-1 ratio, I'm not really sure. Must be pretty close. On the final stretch of this hike now, along the not-so-scenic main road. I mean, it's more scenic than most places. I'm glad I did it this way. That's the way that all trails said to do it. And it was cool that I was able to hike down almost into the canyon. Saw those deer. Would have never seen that if I had just taken the easy way in and then just come out the same way. So I gotta say, that is one of the coolest hikes I've ever done. Should take that with a grain of salt because I'm not a super experienced hiker. I'm really only just getting into this now at this point in my life. You know, I really haven't done too many hikes in the past. But that was pretty neat. I mean, there was very few people out there. You know, there definitely were more towards the second half. But even so, I probably saw 20 total people the whole time. And being able to just walk across the river back and forth and play in the water, it's right up my alley. I was pretty happy with that. Taking shelter for a moment from this little rainstorm that we're getting, another thunderstorm. It's that time of year out here where you get those afternoon showers. That hike was a little over 5 miles out and back. On all trails it said it was 4.5, but then when you add in the section where you got to walk along the main road to get back to where I parked, it comes out to a little over 5 miles. Not too bad. Like I said, definitely a worthwhile way to spend the afternoon. I am going to start moving on now I have a potential campsite picked out for this evening, so I'm probably going to drive over there, scope that area out. Home sweet home for the night. This is a beautiful dispersed camping area in the Santa Fe National Forest. It's right off the main road, Highway 4, that I've been using to get around. I'm sure you can hear some cars going by. Beautiful area though, and perfect 4G cell coverage as well. That's always a nice bonus. As far as I can tell, I'm the only person camped out here in this dispersed camping area for the evening. Our third and final hike for today is one that I'm kind of just making up, but it leaves straight from the camp spot. I just left the truck there. It's not too far, and it goes to an overlook that apparently has a really nice view of the Jemez Canyon.
Won't you lean on me while I'm around? 'Cause fear won't let me go. There's no room to hang a dead, no line to save the drowning man, just the monsters in your head. Killer's eyes and painted face, the devil wants your soul, but Jesus saves. Traffic jams and angry maids, the devil wants your soul, but Jesus saves.
So it was a very short hike to get to this overlook. What's neat is that there is a fire pit here, and the road to get in didn't seem that difficult to get down. So you could camp here. This is kind of part of the dispersed camping area. It'd be pretty neat to camp with views of the canyon like this. If I was staying here for more than just tonight, I would definitely try to figure out a way to get the truck down here. This is one of those spots that you could camp at for a few nights or even longer than that. Great boondocking spot. It'd be pretty amazing to wake up to this view every day. I know I've already said it a couple of times in this video, but I just can't get over how different it is here compared to everywhere else that I've ever been in New Mexico. Between where the property is, the cabin and the tiny house, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, it's nothing like this. This is like a whole nother landscape. It's like I'm in a different state. I can't believe it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna head back to the truck, cook up some dinner real quick, and then get to bed super early. I'm exhausted. I can't remember the last time I did 3 hikes in the same day like this. It's been a long day. Definitely worth it though. This is a beautiful spot, and I have another full day planned for tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Be sure to check out the new Element Life membership site linked below. Becoming a member grants you access to many benefits, including an interactive map of my favorite free camping and stealth camping spots from across the country, a growing recipe archive for quick, delicious, and easy meals, bonus videos each month, special discounts, and much more. Thanks again for watching.